Hello, my friend. I'm driving right now down an old back road in Panama, headed to a border town to cross over to Costa Rica. We've got a 3-day pastors and leaders conference that I'm speaking at this weekend. Sure appreciate your prayers. Hey, I have got some very, very important stuff that I am compelled to share with you. Now, as you know, we have a prototype farm in Panama. This farm's goal is to help start 100,000 more farms and gardens, both personal, private, and commercial, around the world in different nations. We're setting up on the web eventually a phone app that will be done and ready to go, and where people will be able to come in and connect in their language and learn the basic 101 fundamentals of farming. That's the bottom line. Why? Well, let me tell you a couple of things that the Lord spoke to me, and I'm not just putting this out to just everyone, just to my friends and supporters. That's it. But the Lord spoke to me back before we moved to Central America, and that was to build an ark of safety to protect your faith, finances, family, and future. Ark of safety. Faith, finances, family, and future. I've studied this now since 2011, and we moved to Costa Rica because there was only one guy in Central America we knew where there was a 12-month growing cycle where we could build this ark of safety. I didn't know for sure what I was doing. The Lord hadn't shared it all with me, but we got started. We finally realized it was going to need to happen in Panama, where land was cheap, the government offered to help, and where there is literally a 12-month growing cycle season in Chiriquí, Panama. It all worked out. We got the farm. Everything has been working like clockwork. The farm is built. The greenhouses are up. We're producing food. We've learned how to do it. Everything's finished. We're now into phase 2, where it's now reach out as fast and as far as possible to reach the masses. We're now calling it global farming or agricultural evangelism, because the nations need to hear the gospel and the nations need to know the truth. And even what's more, the nations are starving to death, and many of them don't even know it yet. I have a friend in India. He keeps reminding me, he just told me this week, don't forget us, we're dying over here, brother. We need you now, please. 1.1 billion people are in deep, deep need. And their main number one goal, and their main number one problem is poverty and food shortages. We got to get to them, my friends. Now, listen, in 2014, the Lord spoke something else to me, and I don't say this to very many people, but I want to tell you. He spoke to me when I was minding my own business, and he said these words: Phase 2 of the global reset begins now. Get into position for the next 10 years. I knew that meant we had to move into place, get the farm, get moving now. No time to spare, no time to waste. And that's exactly what we did. 30 days after that word was given to me, we had moved, pulled up shop, and moved from Costa Rica into Panama, looking for that farmland and getting busy very, very quickly to get this thing done. Now, why? Why was that? Because phase 2 of the global reset. Now, here's the key. I thought and figured the global reset was probably a financial one. Maybe the US dollar or something's failing, global fail. I don't know. Global reset. That's all I could think of. Little did I know at the time, 2014, that we were entering into a long-term cycle which is called the grand solar minimum, or global cooling, or some call it climate change. I'm just going to call it long-term weather pattern disruptions. My friends, we're seeing it happen and play out right in front of us right now. This is critical, and it's very, very dangerous. Why do I say that? I say that because right now we are having record cold weather. The polar vortex came down in North America, minus 75 degree wind chill factors, record-breaking, historical cold weather People have been dying just from the cold. The whole country has frozen over. Not the whole country, but the northern part of the country is experiencing, for some places, it's the coldest weather since the early 1800s. For others, they've never had it this cold. We knew, folks, back in 2014 that a global reset was coming. What I didn't realize in 2014, but I know full good and well now, science is saying that this mini ice age, which is going to change food growing patterns around the world, it's going to turn farmlands into deserts, and it's going to change deserts into farmlands. It's going to totally upheave the delicate food growing system, and those that are poor, impoverished, the third worlds, the tribals, the indigenous, they're not going to be able to get out of the way. They're in deep trouble and they don't even realize it. Some of them need to fortify their huts for cold, 20 to 30 degrees colder than it ever has been in their lives before. Some of them need to start growing food now, as in India, they're already starving and dying. Pastor Dawes told me in 10 years, while we're experiencing higher rates of problem, they won't be here. They said many of them will be dead. This is very, very critical, my friends. And so here's the deal. We have a divine window of opportunity. We've got an open door. God has opened a window for us to connect with some of the top leaders in the world who can take us to 100,000 community leaders and church planters this year alone. We're going to be meeting with them at the end of April, and we're meeting with another group of thousands of them in April. So we've got, we've got February, end of February, and end of April. We've got 2 big meetings coming up. We got a lot to do. We need resources, supplies, we need people. I need some young people that are ready to sell out for the next couple of years to go to the nations and reach people through agricultural evangelism. One group we're speaking to is making plans to put the gospel in every tribe, tongue, nation, and people group in the next 11 years before 2030. They've got a big mountain ahead of them, and their number one problem is the next step to church multiplication and production is they've got to go into communist-held nations, Muslim-held nations, Hindu-held nations, places where you die for preaching the gospel. And we are taking the program to them. This is a divine, timely, such as a time like this moment in history where we can go in and instead of starting a church, we're going to start a farm. And we're going to begin to feed the people. We're going to grow some for sale in their community and win their respect. We're going to grow some and we're going to give it away to their poor. We're going to hire their people, and their families will become our disciples. There's so much that's going to happen. Farming first, and a church will birth and form out of it secondly. We will have won their hearts before they realize what's happened. This is critical and it's timely. My friends, all I got to say is we have a chance of reaching literally 100,000 villages just in the next 18 months. God help us do it. And I need you to help us do it as well. I've never been good at raising money. Usually in the past, whenever I needed to do something for the Lord, I just started a business. I just did it myself. But this is well beyond me. I can't just create a business to meet this thing head on and save all of these people from starvation and death. I just can't do it through business. My time is gone. Everything, the focus is serious, and we need partners. And I mean partners for life. If you have it in your heart, I need 2 things. I need your serious prayer, and I don't mean a refrigerator magnet prayer where you go, oh yeah, Lord, bless Daniel and Tracy. We need serious prayer. I mean serious prayer and intercession. We've got resistance, a lot of resistance, because the angel, or let's say the false angel of death, is on the move to try to kill and destroy. Kill, steal, and destroy. God's trying to bring life, and we have got the vision, and it's on. The time is now. But we also need your monthly or one-time support. I'm just going to be flat out honest with you right now, February. We need some 1,000, some 5, some 10,000, and some $20,000 donors. Just being straight up with you, this next project is $450,000 to reach the nations. $450. It's nothing to God, but you know, it's probably the biggest and fastest funds I've ever had to raise, non-profit-wise, for the kingdom of God without using business tactics to do it. And so I appreciate anything and everything you can do. Partner with us. Come on down to Panama. Check out what we're doing. See the project. See the prototype. Look online, globalfoodproviders.com. Our nonprofit is Children's Feeding Network. It will soon be DBA, doing business as Global Food Providers. As long as our auditors say everything's good and clean. We need to make sure we stay transparent and above board and everything. So we're working to make sure all of that is covered. But globalfoodproviders.com and childrensfeedingnetwork.org, we need your help. Prayers, financial support, and not just support. We need your partnership. We want you to be a life partner of the greatest opportunity in the history, at least in our lifetimes. I believe this is big. This is huge. It's going to go from the obscurity of Panama. It's going to go into the nations. Big, fast, and furious. This is just like the kingdom of God to do something great. Well, this is Dr. Daniel Daves signing out on my way to Volcan, Chiriquí, Panama, and then over to the border, Costa Rica, where we are training in kingdom laws, the laws of the kingdom for 2019. And we're presenting to these church planners and pastors, get your gardens in the ground and get ready to feed the poor. Time is now. We've got your education for you, and we're going to help make you successful wherever you are, whether you're going commercial or whether you're planting a garden out behind the church. You are going to be successful in Jesus' name. God bless you. I love you. Thank you for listening and taking the time to let me just impart my heart into you. We love you guys. Bye-bye.